Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television. Of course, you know you can be part of the conversation on social media. Just tweet at BizMorning or at Channels Television or at Harriet Agbenyi, and let's get this conversation going. We hope to talk to Johnson Chukwu in a bit on the show. We're taking a look at some of the issues that have come up with regards JP Morgan wanting to delist Nigeria from its GBI EM by the end of the year. But we're still talking about encouraging MSMEs, and was taken off from where I left off with Wale Shonibare is still talking about how they can be encouraged. Now, the internet for a very long time, we know, has been used by some brands and some of these MSMEs to grow their business. I'll be talking to Taiwo Kola-Ogunlade. He's the Communications and Public Affairs Manager, Anglophone West Africa with Google. Taiwo, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Well, let's talk a little more about online shopping. It's a growing phenomenon. I know for a certainty, for those working class, a lot of working class, they prefer to shop online. How much has Nigeria been able to gain from it?
Well, the industry is estimated to be about 200 billion right now.
Annually or quarterly, or?
The entire size of it. So between 2011 and 2014, the industry has grown by 55%, which is really huge. I mean, I think just 2 weeks ago, Hotels.ng, which is a startup in Nigeria, got a $1.5 million investment. So we are beginning to get to the point where Nigerian businesses, Nigerian locally grown businesses, are reaching the point where they are beginning to get investments. They are beginning to go beyond the $1 million mark. And I mean, you talk of giants like Konga, like Jumia. These guys are making like huge sums of money, and it's not just that. You know, it sort of changes the economy, provides employment. You know, makes Nigerians a lot more comfortable with respect to how they use the internet and how they shop.
Yeah, but then you see, there's also this just that internet the penetration of users of internet is very low. So yes, we have the working class, a lot of them who would rather shop online, but then we still have a very low number of investors online. You've talked about a couple of them, you mentioned a couple of names, but this is just what, about 5, 10 of them. They're not so much. So why is it that this is not gaining as much traction within the Nigerian sphere? Because it's a very easy way for you to do business. You don't have to, put up a brick and mortar kind of shop. You can just do everything online.
I mean, so one of the ways that we talk about ourselves as Google, or that we define sort of like our impact to how we do help businesses, small businesses in this particular regard, is we see Google beyond a search engine. Google is more like a growth engine for businesses. So now you can be in your house. There's no better time now. You can be in your house and be doing business with people from across the world, powered by the internet and powered by Google tools. So, I mean, a lot of the questions around what's the entire size of the market, you think about it now, Nigeria has over 70 million internet users. That's almost 4 times the size of Ghana, the entire population of Ghana. That's a huge market, and the investments are beginning to come in. Last year, I think it was Jumia that got over $100 million investment, and I'm not talking of just big businesses now. They're really small businesses, small, just students who come together, 2, 3, 4, develop an app, and they build an app that really gets very big. And a couple of examples.
Then how does Google come into all of this? How does Google help to encourage small businesses like that?
So we see there are different categories of people, right? One and different levels. The first, we begin to talk about how does Google help just generally everyone. And the question is, inspiration. Business usually starts from inspiration. How do people get inspiration? You go online, you search. How do people find? This morning I was doing a search for the top how-do that Nigerians search for, and I found it was how do I start a blog, or how do I start a business? And it's funny because you start from inspiration, and then once people find ideas, then they can begin to think about how do I find a partner. Again, you go on search. Again, you go on YouTube. You see how people are doing it. You ask questions. And then it begins to answer those sort of questions. And then by the time that you are ready, there are other tools, free tools that Google does have, like Google for Work, which is like an application that allows you collaborate with your friends and people from different locations. You think about big sites like lindaikeji.com. Linda is particularly one of, I think that's one of the biggest blogs in Africa. Linda is powered by Google's Blogger, which is a free publishing tool.
Now, in terms of making these apps available, the conversation I was having with the previous gentleman, Wale Shunibari, he was talking about the fact that there still needs to be training. So you have these apps, and you have all of those tools that make it very easy for you to do business, but then you don't know how to use it. So do you have training sessions where you show potential investors, who want to do their branding, who want to sell stuff online, to show them how they can use these apps to benefit themselves?
Excellent question. I mean, so the question around capacity development is something that we're always thinking about at Google. One of the programs that we started out with last year is called Digital Business Management Program. We originally started that with the School of Business at Lagos Business School. And the idea is we're going to get individuals who are interested in building digital businesses. So I want to build a digital agency, or I want to, because there's so many Nigerian businesses, small businesses, that are looking for agencies that can support them, but they can't get enough because Nigerians, not very many Nigerians have the skill to do it. So we're doing those trainings. We're also training media people. We're constantly in universities providing free internet access, ensuring that we get people from very young ages to start using the internet and start getting used to the tools. So, I mean, you're right. There's so much work that needs to go in the area of capacity building. We need to help ensure that not only are these tools available, but that people know how to use them.
And not in a fraudulent way, too.
Well, I mean, so the internet, like many other tools in the world, can be used, good and the bad. Just last week, I was watching an interview with Mrs. Omobola Johnson, the outgoing, and she talked about quite a number of policies that have been put in place to sort of check online fraud or check the way people relate with other people online, just to ensure that everybody is safe. During 2 months ago, during the Internet Safety Day, Google and a number of other organizations organized internet safety programs, trainings, how to keep your children safe, how to be safe, how to ensure you don't fall into all those sort of practices. So again, I mean, as we progress on the journey, we will get smarter as a people. But the more important thing is more, how do we change ourselves? How do we better ourselves as people? All the questions of I saw a report quite recently which sort of placed Nigeria as one of the most expensive countries to start a business in. And the reason, you have to get a shop, power is an issue, electricity, and we all know all the issues, right? But the internet sort of makes it easy, right? And one of the things,
you still need power to put on your laptop or your iPad or whatever modem you're using to do your business.
84% of Nigerians who are online are accessing the internet from their mobiles. So we're no longer talking about a mobile dependence. We're no longer talking about a mobile first internet usage country. We're talking about a mobile-only internet user country. And the shift has suddenly moved from 40-something% of people using it via desktop to 84% of people using it via mobiles. So really, there isn't so much excuse with respect to how much external factors are holding back people. The people are there, they're online, right? It's left to small businesses to tap into it. Another example of one of the ways that people use Google tools with Google Maps, and quite a lot of people don't know this. Last year, we publicly announced that every ATM in Nigeria is now on Google Maps. Everyone. So if you just go on Google and you type ATM in Nigeria, you find any ATM around you that you can easily find. Now, this makes it easy for banks, for people to connect at any point. Now you have applications, young gentlemen from Unilag, from LASU, coming together to build applications that layer over maps. So applications that just easily say, I'm looking for a nightclub, or I'm looking for where to buy shoes, I'm looking for where to buy anything. And it will easily tell you the nearest one to you is just down the hall.
So it also means that this is encouraging e-marketing as well.
Yeah. So even beyond e-marketing, because you have to think about the entire industry. You think about e-marketing, e-commerce, think about entertainment, think about Nollywood. These are really, really big. So this morning, last week, Tiwa Savage posted and said, "Thank you, Nigeria, 10 million views on Eminado." Think about that. 10 million views, not just on Eminado, 10 million views on Dorobuchi. 25 million views on Sigobe. Another 20-something million views on Aye. And then you begin to count it. How many are we in Nigeria? 170-something million. Which obviously means that those numbers are not just coming from Nigeria. The internet has also provided an avenue for our people to be able to export. So we are not only exporting businesses, we are exporting culture. More people are getting to know Nigerians. More people are getting freer to deal with us as a people, which is, again, the crux of business. You want to be able to expand the number of people you are able to reach, and you want to be able to think about how much more you can get more patronage. And those are some of the things that we at Google sort of think about when we think about our growth engine, Google as a growth engine to help to drive businesses and small business. I mean, you think about the internet being a tool that sort of levels the playing field.
Yeah.
You know, some people are big, some people are small, but the internet just levels it. The same tools available to you are available to me. So right now, Channels TV is not only competing with the other bigger brands like CNN, you are competing with some boy who's operating a YouTube channel from his garage. Companies like Google start from garages. So you think about that. I mean, and the future is, you know, the future is huge.
The future is huge. The future is also huge for e-commerce to make a very strong stance in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for coming on the program
Glad to be here.
Sharing your thoughts with us. Well, Business Morning will continue in just a moment. Please stay with us.